Welcome back, subscribers, and welcome new viewers. Today I'm going to read from my Pluto book, Natal Pluto in aspect to natal Saturn. And then I'm going to do another video, and it will be from my Saturn book, giving a little different perspective from a different author, Saturn in aspect to Pluto. Okay, but today it's Pluto in aspect to Saturn. And I want to thank each and every one of you who have subscribed, who like and share my videos, because that helps them to circulate out to more and more individuals just like you who need this information. And very quickly, I want to thank Tashana for enabling me to read this so that it doesn't just help her, but it helps each and every one of you who have this same aspect. So thank you to Tashana, and I hope I am pronouncing your name correctly. And I also want to thank each and every one of you who have encouraged me by asking in the past, wanting to donate, and if I had a PayPal account. And I want to thank all of you who have donated anyway before I was able to have a PayPal account. But I now do have a PayPal account. So thank you, each and every one of you who desired and encouraged me to finally have a PayPal account. I do. It's in the description box below this video, the link, and all of my astrological video readings. Also, all of my intuitive readings that I have started from 2022. And let's see. Oh, and I appreciate each and every donation, no matter the size, because that assists me in being able to continue to put this information out, because my desire and my passion is to ensure that this information gets out to as many as I possibly can get out, and all that are desiring this information. So thank you, each and every one of you. And when you subscribe and when you like and when you share, that assists also. So donating and the subscriptions and the liking and sharing, it all assists into getting out this information to as many individuals as I possibly can. So thank you, all of you. I couldn't do it without you. So that's why I'm still here. It's because of you, all of you. Okay, so let's get started. Okay. And hopefully it's light enough. It's a really dark day today, and so I did my best to make it as light as possible for myself and for you. Okay, Pluto in aspect to Saturn. And I always say, especially the hard aspects, which is opposition, conjunct, and or square. But if you have sextile or trine, you can listen to this as well, because you will definitely gain something. Okay. In general, Pluto in aspect to Saturn will promote the need in these individuals to actualize and realize their own authority and establish this authority within society. Pluto can correlate to the largest sociological role that any of us can play within the context of society. When aspected to Saturn, the evolutionary desire and intent is to fulfill or assume that role. This aspect promotes deep contemplation or reflection that leads to an awareness or knowledge of the individual's inherent capacities and therefore the nature of his or her career or sociological role through which personal authority can be established and projected. The individual's capacities and role are reflective, not reflective, well, it could be reflective, relative, relative, excuse me, relative to the houses and signs that Pluto and Saturn are in. The aspects that they make to each other and other planets, and by the natural, evolutionary, and karmic capacity of individual with this aspect. Once Saturn, Pluto individuals understand their capabilities, capacities, and the sociological role that they can play, they must also learn the means of actualizing these potentials as defined by their culture or society. In so doing, they will then be able to express their own authority with respect to the capabilities that they can be expressed through the career or sociological role that they play. So basically, finding your own place, how you fit in, is what I'm seeing and understanding, and how you best get across your expertise, your personal expertise, to your community, to the world. That's beautiful. From an evolutionary point of view, these individuals can and will be learning lessons relative to external authority and power. The culture or society itself is one source of external authority and power. Another source is the parent, who yields most authority and discipline within the family. Since Pluto aspected to Saturn also correlates to the individual's need to assert his or her own authority, the aspect between these two planets will suggest how they have reacted to the need to express their own power and authority within the context of external power and authority. Okay, so that's where it's saying if your Pluto and Saturn are in hard aspect, then you're going to have that difficulty factor in your life played out. And if it's easily aspected, which is trine or sextile, then it's not going to be a harsh playing out. It will be a more compatible playing out. So you might have parents possibly who, or authority figures that are, what I just got, are compatible, are someone you might look up to or see in a positive sense. The hard aspects, it could be something, an experience or experiences that will be in not what do I want to say here? That are going to give you hard experiences, tough experiences, harmful, or it's not going to be a fun experience, basically. Okay. The stressful aspects tend to promote a situation in which these individuals have challenged, rejected, or failed to understand the means of establishing their role, power, and authority within their culture. They also suggest a clash or conflict of wills with respect to one or both of the parents who attempted to discipline the individual or who expected him or her to conform to their standards of conduct. There you go. This author explained it well. Because Saturn correlates to the phenomena of time and space, stressful aspects also suggests a problem with the discipline necessary to acquire the socially acceptable credentials that would allow establishment of their role and authority. Saturn-Pluto aspects demand that time be spent learning or preparing for the specific roles. The time factor also allows for the development of a socialized consciousness that learns how the quote-unquote system works and what it is based on. By developing a socialized consciousness, the individual will know how to integrate his or her own authority and role within the society. Because the stressful aspects suggest conflicts or problems with this process in the past, many of these individuals will come into this life with a deep sense of frustration and futility. The sense of frustration and futility is based upon previous life experiences of being denied or blocked from being able to actualize their ambitions, goals, desires, and sociological roles to the fullest possible extent. Denial or blockage occurred because they did not adhere to the necessary methods or ways to actualize these needs as prescribed by society. Thus, these people have an ongoing lesson to learn the proper methods in order to actualize their capabilities and needs to the fullest possible in extent. Commonly, the deep-seated basis of this prior refusal is founded upon a Plutonian fear of being consumed or controlled by forces larger or more powerful than the individual. This fear reflects a conflict between personal authority and the larger authority as manifested in the culture or the parent in authority. From an ultimate point of view, this larger authority originates in the source that created the individual. The fear, however, is projected onto society. So it's something you were born with, for those of us. And I am one who has Pluto and Saturn in opposition. Hard aspect. Okay. And I had to work through all of this. Hard experiences. Not fun, to say the least. Okay. But again, it's saying that that came from my chart, just like this is coming from your chart. So it's coming from your energy. That's why whatever experiences, hard experiences in this area that you have had in the past or will have, this is saying that this is where it's coming from. And it's it's always for a good purpose, for us to learn something very essential that will end up making us wiser, making us stronger, or both. Okay, so let me see here. Where am I at? Okay, so others with a stressful aspect between Saturn and Pluto have succeeded in establishing their power and authority within society through the strength or force of their wills. But the means and methods used to achieve their ambitions and goals are commonly manipulative, ruthless, abusive, and underhanded. So that's what happened. That's how we used our power in the past, whether you want to say past lives, or you can also see it as, if you don't agree with past lives, that's all right. Because there's also, there is factual proof, scientific proof, that we get handed down generationally. These can be handed down from our mothers, fathers, grandparents, great-grandparents to us astrologically. So that might be how you received this aspect of Pluto and Saturn for some of you. And so your parents or grandparents or whoever you received it from, your ancestry in some way, abused, So it's passed down to you because they weren't able to take care of it. So now you have the ability, you have the chance now to take care of it. Okay. So it doesn't get passed down any further. Okay. The degree of emotional shock. Okay, wait. Let me back up one more hand. Such individuals have or will experience emotional blows when the foundations of their career or role are forcefully removed at some point. The degree of emotional shock experienced will be in direct proportion to the level of resistance to changing their ways, or to the degree they defend their social positions and authority. In either case, these individuals are continuing to learn how to accept the responsibility for their own actions. In the first case, these types face continuing lessons relative to self-determination, which is linked with an awareness of their capabilities and the appropriate and required ways to actualize those capacities within their social role or career. Thus, the individual's feelings of frustration are directly based on their own actions when those actions failed to conform to what had to be done to realize their goals. The evolutionary antidote is to do what is required of them to realize their capabilities in a self-determined way. In the second case, self-determination has been highly developed in relation to realizing ambitions, goals, and capabilities. Yet the means used to actualize them have been negative. Thus, these types must learn how to accept the responsibility for their own actions when the necessary confrontations, blows, or shocks of removal occur, and to determine to correct previous errors. With stressful aspects, the understanding of the limits of personal and social power can be difficult to achieve. Emotional shocks and challenges delivered by others in positions of power and authority will serve to make these limitations evident. Individuals with non-stressful aspects between Pluto and Saturn suggest that an understanding of the appropriate methods and ways to actualize their capacities and roles within society have been learned relatively easily. The non-stressful aspects convey an awareness of the appropriate role and also a natural understanding of the limits of that role. They also convey an understanding of the limits of personal power and authority. These individuals will commonly understand the amount of time necessary to acquire the credentials that lead to the fulfillment and realization of their sociological role, and will naturally prepare for this role by creating a solid foundation upon which the role or career is established. In addition, they will also take their duties and responsibilities seriously. All aspects between Pluto and Saturn contain the potential for leadership ability. The level of leadership will be determined by the individual's karmic and evolutionary conditions. Meaning to me, also, where does your South Node placement? Is there a hard aspect or easy aspect with your nodes of the moon in correlation with Pluto and Saturn? see, where am I at now? Those with the stressful aspects may not take their responsibilities and duties seriously. Rather, they may be more concerned with the position itself and the maintenance of that role. This focus can promote an ultimate downfall if their duties and responsibilities are neglected or abused. These individuals may recognize the capabilities of others, yet feel threatened by them. Accordingly, they can act to suppress or undermine others in order to maintain their own positions. Those who have been or are blocked from being able to actualize their capacities to the fullest extent must learn how to reflect honestly upon themselves in order to determine the reasons and dynamics that have created this situation. And I'm feeling the need to say, for some of you, don't feel bad about this, because these, if you are recognizing these characteristics within yourself, this is the aspect, the hard aspect of Pluto and Saturn in your chart, so that you can learn. So don't feel bad. You will absolutely go through this experience. So looking back and seeing this in your situation, or you've gone through this situation, don't feel bad. You were supposed to. You were supposed to. And you were going to. Okay. In this way, they can become responsible for themselves and make the changes required to remove the blocks. There you go. That's what it's all for. Learning and growth. Expansion. Regardless of the approach or attitude assumed by Saturn and Pluto individuals, they all have the intrinsic ability to formulate, eliminate, or regenerate outmoded or stagnating dynamics or structures that are preventing further growth. That's what you have this aspect for. All of us, including myself. This ability can be projected outward to make changes in their work or actions, or it can be internally focused in order to structurally change the orientation and parameters of their consciousness. Saturn correlates to organization and definition. Every inner dynamic contributes to the internal organization and definition of our personal identity. Every outer dynamic contributes to the organization and definition of a society, culture, or career, and to the totality of all forces as defined in a particular way at any point in time. Reality. With Pluto linked to Saturn, the cycles of catharsis and metamorphic structural change will necessarily occur when evolutionary growth and development are blocked because of a dynamic or a combination of dynamics that are preventing necessary growth. This change will occur both within an individual and to the external conditions of reality, individually and collectively. The stressful aspects promote cataclysmic change in varying degrees of intensity, and the non-stressful aspects promote progressive, steady evolutionary change. In summary, then, Pluto by house, sign, and aspect represents the most significant sociological role an individual can play. Saturn by house, sign, and aspect will suggest the appropriate means methods and ways necessary to accomplish and actualize Pluto's sociological role. The aspect between the two will correlate to how it has been or will be done. Okay. It's big. And again, for those of you that would like another aspect, another way of looking at it from a different author, I will also be posting from my Saturn book, Saturn, Natal Saturn in aspect to Pluto, Natal Pluto. Okay, so if any of you would like a written copy of what I just read, send me an email and I would be happy to send it to you. I'd love to hear your comments, any questions, and if any of you out there would like me to do a natal, your personal natal wheel interpretation, written interpretation, let me know. Send me an email with your birth information, natal wheel birth information, I would be happy to do that. All right. Until next time.